Hey, Christy.
Hey Tish, how are you?
How are you doing? I've been thinking about you. How's your knee?
I'm okay. Do you have can you see me, or are you just calling in?
I can see you.
Well, if I'm gonna wheel back, you can see I'm in my little wheelchair.
Oh my God. How long is your recovery process?
Well, it's Friday will be a month, so 4 weeks. So I will see him tomorrow to see exactly what's going on. He was going to do surgery, but then he decided to not to let it keep trying to heal.
Okay, so I didn't know if you had that done or not last week.
That I was supposed to, but then Sunday he called. Actually, his physician's assistant set that all up while he was on vacation. And when he got back, he looked at the x-rays and he's like, you know what? It seems to be doing fine. It hasn't opened up. He said, just be really, really careful. And let's just keep watching it. So, I didn't want to jump into surgery, but I do want to get better. And the only concern is if I move, like yesterday, I was just moving my leg to put it into my brace. Mm-hmm. And I moved wrong. I didn't do anything. I just moved wrong and it killed. So, because your muscles will pull those bones apart. So, I don't know.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Careful. I know you a mover and a shaker, so it's hard to sit still. But
yeah, this is really stopped me in my tracks. But I'm doing good. I mean, I can hobble around, and I've learned how to do things a little different. But could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
So, like I'm saying, it could have been a lot worse. Yeah. Right, somebody must be here. So how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm doing well. Yep. I'm looking forward to this call.
Yeah, so we can kind of really start feeling like things are happening, huh?
Mhm. Or just just to connect with the other authors and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I got some amazing women in this book. Amy's one of them. Here, let me, there we go. You're unmuted now, Amy. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey! Yeah! There it is. I love how that all comes together.
Oh. Tina's on. Wonderful. Tina, I'm going to actually put your last name in there so everybody knows. Oh, oh darn thing. And we got Valerie. Oh, Valerie, I was just going to reply to your email. So be looking for that. I started replying one day last week, and then I never hit send. So. Give everybody a few minutes. I'm so excited that this book is finally coming together. Yay. The whole beginning part is the hard part. It's a lot of sales for me, is to find the right people and talk to them. I love learning about so many women. They don't all participate. So the amount of women that I talk to are probably 4 times the amount that are actually on the book. So I love that part, but I love this even more because now we're able to move forward and get your stories out in the world. So this is my favorite part. Hey, Deborah, I'm unmuting you. Oh. Okay. You're unmuted.
I have myself muted. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it automatically mutes everybody when they come in. And it always seems to happen when I unmute you, it's the same time you're unmuting yourself. And we end up by muting you again.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're just going to wait a few more minutes. A lot of the women have never used Zoom before and various things, so give them a moment to get all plugged in.
How are you feeling, by the way?
I'm feeling fine. I'm just telling Tish, I'm in a wheelchair here, and only because it fits really good underneath my.
I know you don't look. You look perfect.
my leg is out, so I have to make sure my leg's out, so that allows me to do that. But yeah, I'm making it work.
That's good.
Making it work. All right, we've got Deb now. Deb, which Deb is on? Deb Navarro or Deb Rogers? Okay, I'm going to update your name. Perfect. We have two Debs in this book. We have two Debs and two Amy's, but the Amy's are both spelled differently. We've got Jeannie Martin calling in from her car, yay, or from her office maybe, her car office. Don't be driving, Jeannie. All right, let's see who else is going to pop on. We're going to wait a few more minutes to give everybody a chance to kind of get on, get situated. Jeannie, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, Deborah, I can't unmute. There you go.
Oh, I muted myself. My dogs are here and they may be barking, so I'll just mute myself.
Okay, perfect. All right. I've got my whole list of all the different books. I want to make sure that I don't forget to review. Got a lot of stuff to share today.
Do we need to take notes at all, Christy?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
good. Okay.
No, unless you want to. I mean,
No,
you may,
I don't want to have to find a pen and paper. If you tell me I don't have to. That would be great.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna wait we'll wait one more minute. We'll start at 2:05. Just to give everybody a chance to get on, and then let's start. We're gonna start with I think I'm gonna just start with project updates because we are recording it. That way, anybody that jumps on or wants to watch the recording afterwards will be able to get their information right off the bat. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go through my list. I'm so excited, as I was saying a moment ago, because now is a time when our feet are going to hit the pavement and everything is going to come together really, really fast. And so I'm going to give you an update of where we're at right now. So we have everybody's stories in. We have one that still needs to be edited, but that's okay because she's going to be the very last story week. She just kind of joined the project maybe 2 weeks ago. So she was our final edition, but we can kind of throw her in at the back at the very end. But beyond that, we've got a few more final little adjustments with last minute, just final edits. And then right now, our goal is to have all of the stories to the graphic designer by Thursday or Friday of this week.
Wow.
She will get that done very quickly, which means by probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week, we will have the finished book for you all to look at. So how we're going to do this is this week, what will happen is we will get the books, the files to the graphic designer. Jessica will also be emailing you because what we want to do is get an estimate of how many books you may want when the project is done. And so we can go to the printer because now we know the page count, we'll know the word count, we'll know an approximation of how many books we're going to order, and then we will get the best pricing. We've been using the same printer every year, but what I also do is I will still bid the project out to traditional printers. What that does is it makes him keep his prices low, and it also makes sure that there's not anybody that can compete. I love the quality with him, so that's where we've kept him, is because I know the quality is going to be amazing, but I still like to get pricing just to make sure we can get that he stays competitive. We don't want him to get too comfortable here with it. And then what will happen next is then again, the book will go to layout next week, sometime, at least by next Friday, you will actually see the book laid out as a PDF. You will have the front cover to review as well as the inside to review. Then what you need to do is, of course, you can read everybody's stories, but what you really need to focus on is your story. You need to look at it and make sure that it is completely perfect, that there are no missing chapters, there's no missing sentence, there's no missing anything. Everything, we've never had a lot of problem with this, but what the graphic designer does is take that file and they import it into a different program, and then the program kind of like does the pagination. But with any kind of, you know, system, there's a lot of work that she has. It's not just an automatic put it in and it's perfect. There's a lot of manipulation that she does, which could create user error. So we just need to make sure that you look at it to just ensure that it's like everything is great. It's not a time to make major changes because we can't make major changes at that point, but we just need to make sure that she hasn't missed anything, so then that way we can move forward. So also next week, what she will do is she will send you that final file to review, the final cover to review, and then she'll also send you an order form for you to actually order your books. Because once the following week, everything is approved, the file is going to go to the printer, and then we'll have our books within 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what other things are going on in their world. But what we'll do is I will get the project in his queue next week. And then once he gets the files, then we're kind of up in the system a little bit. We've kind of learned all of the tricks, but we're up in the system even further. So then that way, hopefully we've gotten books back in 2 weeks. But again, it depends on what are other big projects that they have. So you will have a book order form to order your books, as well as in the past we have created bookmarks, postcards, and social media images. The platinum authors get pretty much most of that for free, but sometimes the gold authors wanted to have those same types of perks. So we have put those together as an option for you if you want to order them. Beyond that, one thing that we're going to do differently for this book that I've never done before is we have had some amazing reviews on Amazon for our books. And so we're going to have, I don't know if you've seen books, but the first couple pages are kind of like testimonials or endorsements about the book. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in some great Amazon reviews. And we're going to say that they're Amazon reviews, and everybody could actually go to Amazon and see them. But we want to have that be kind of your endorsements of the book and create more legitimacy, or more like, you know, encourage people to really recognize how awesome these books are going to be and how awesome your story is going to be. So before I go to the next step, does anybody have any questions so far? Monique, unmute yourself, Monique.
Okay, quick question.
Yep.
I sent my reviews back. And
Your
there was
edits?
my edits, and there were some questions from the editor that I responded to.
Okay.
Am I going to get that back?
Yeah, just keep working with Jessica. I know we actually have our newest author, Dorothy, and Tina are the 3 stories that we're kind of working through
Okay.
with the final editions and everything. But hopefully we'll get those wrapped up in the next couple days, and then that will be ready to go to the layout. That's why we kind of said everything will get to the designer by Thursday or Friday.
Okay. So just look for that. Look for the responses to what I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your story is still kind of in the works, because then once it's done, then I kind of will read it again just to make sure I don't, you know, from another perspective. The more people that look at it without, I mean, we don't want to send them all to different editors, because sometimes editors will kind of create more problems or more things that they see. But what I like to do is when it's all done, just kind of give it a once over, just to make sure that, you know, from a fresh eyes, that we're not missing anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Does anybody else have any questions to that point? No. Okay. So then after that, once the book then gets into the hands of the printer, then we're going to start thinking about marketing. I will have order forms for any of you to do pre-orders. We will have the cover image finished, as well as marketing images finished. And that way you can go to your audience and start doing pre-orders. A lot of our authors in the past have gotten women or people to pre-order the book before it comes out. More importantly, all of that engagement with your audience about pre-orders is going to create excitement to your people about your upcoming book and create excitement about your brand and create excitement about your business. And so once the book is in the printer's hands, we'll have like this really detailed marketing opportunity list of things that you can do through every step of the process. Some people will read it and don't do any of it. You know, some of them will do all of them, but we have a lot of ideas. You can update your LinkedIn profile and put your book in there, and you'll be able to create an author profile on Amazon and Facebook. There's all these things that you can do with this new asset of yours. So all of those ideas will be in there, as well as we will be creating a press release for you and media campaign kits and all of these different tools for you to utilize for your particular business. And then we'll also create our plan for our Amazon bestseller campaign. And we have the same strategy that we use every time, but what we want to do is take a look at the calendar and schedule in this effort. It's a 5-day, very strategic marketing effort so that we can hit #1 in Amazon. We will provide all of you with copy and paste content. So basically, you just take all this content, and we'll should tell you what to do with it and where to put it. And we'll even share how you can schedule it. How you can just basically sit down and spend 2 hours and do it all, and it's done. So we provide you everything you need to basically share this book with as many people as you can in a 5-day window, and more importantly, on the very first day if possible. Because we have been fortunate to hit #1 on the first day in all of our books. And our last 2 books, we actually hit it in 2 different categories, which is amazing. And so once we hit that, we will let you know, and we will then recreate our images for you to be able to share with that Amazon logo. Let's see. I think at this point, I think that pretty much covers all of it as far as the marketing goes. All of this is going to come together probably in the next 3, this week, next week, and the following week. Lots of communications. Anything that Jessica sends you that has a deadline, she'll have it like in red, the deadlines, but make sure you do the best you can to meet that deadline, or at least get it in sooner if possible. Because the sooner we get things in, the more quicker we'll be able to hit our goal dates. And then we're going to keep communicating through our Facebook group. We'll keep communicating through emails, but I don't like to send out a ton of emails. So when I do send an email, it's going to be long with a lot of stuff. That way you're not going back and looking for like 30 emails from me. You'll have maybe 4 or 5 and put them in a little folder, or save that content in a Word document, however you want. Actually, we'll probably create a Word document and then do both. But there will be a lot of information, and that's why I like to do an email, but then I like to keep updates in the Facebook group as well. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. Anybody have any questions at this point?
Hi, Christy. It's Tina.
Okay, Tina, go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I'm at work right now, so I'm kind of muted. But I just wanted to make sure, are you waiting on anything back from me? Because I know you said that you were still working on mine.
Yes, no, yours got finished. So yours is in the spot for me to read. Monique.
Okay.
Jessica, and so is Dorothy. Both of you are working with Jessica to finalize your thing, but I believe you're done. Other than I'm going to read it one last time just to make sure I don't see anything crazy. So you're good. Thanks for checking. Any other, Amy, you had a question. Amy Carlson.
I do. Am I muted? Am I not? Okay. This is the first kind of Zoom meeting I've participated in. Yay! I was able to fit it into the schedule. In the past, because this is the 7th in the series, is that correct?
Yes.
So are there previous authors in this book, or previous authors that come into the Facebook group that kind of give their best practices, the things that worked best for them to utilize the, being an author, and what they found to be most helpful?
Yeah, so what we've done is I actually have created a print to profit training. And that will give you a ton of ideas. And as new ideas have come, I've actually have a new list because I'm going to redo that whole thing this year. So you'll have all of that, all of the old ideas and the new ideas. You could go back and look through like a year or 2, 3 years ago in the Facebook group, because that's where everybody shares that. But that's going to be a lot of looking for you. So that's why I kind of like created a document and saved all that information. And now I'm hoping all of you as authors going forward will share different ideas that are going to work for you and become more engaged over the next month in that group. And then that will spark more ideas. So,
And is that print to profit document in the Facebook group?
No, you know what? There is an author. I don't even know if it's still there because I think I may have taken it down. But have you looked on the author resource page of the Overcoming Mediocrity site by any chance? Okay, so in the Facebook group, I'm actually opening it right now while we're in the Overcoming Mediocrity group on Facebook. In the description on the right-hand side, I know it's there. It's a link to the author resource page.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look and see. The print to profit training is like really old. It's like, I don't know, 4 years old. So it definitely needs an update, but I'm looking to see if it's down here. Yeah, it's there. It's there. It's still there. So you should be able to access that training. I'm opening up to make sure that it's still accessible. It's in a password protected page. I will work on making sure that that's accessible, unless the password is there.
And can I ask, are any of you other lovely ladies already public speakers?
We're going to go around and do introductions next.
Okay.
So I will make sure that is, so yeah, that training is accessible in there. So there's, I don't know, a bunch of modules and handouts and audios for all of that. So you can find everything in the author resource page.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we are going to go around next and do introductions, and I will encourage everybody to share. When we share about our business, that will be great things to touch base on. Well, we got more new people. So anybody that just jumped on, all of this call is being recorded. I just now went through like complete update on the project. So give me by the end of the day to get that shared with you all. We'll post it in the Facebook group for you to look at. But yeah, we went through some great information. You may want to check into that. So before we go into introductions, wow, look at everybody that's on this call. This is great. Does anybody else have any more questions at this point? And don't feel if you have a question that it's silly, because somebody else is probably thinking of the same question that is in your head. No, I shared everything perfectly, huh? Okay. All right. So then let's go around and let's do introductions. And gosh, we have a lot of people. So when we're done, I will make sure I let you know who is not on the call. And let's go ahead and share, who you are, your business. Definitely share if you already have a book or if you're speaking, share about who you are, because this is really one of the assets of being in this book is to now connect with other women. I know some of the women already work together because they were referred each other to the project, but we have had women in the past go on to do things together, events, training. We have one person that did a 3-day retreat with, 2 women from one of the books. So there's so many opportunities that can develop from this being in this book, because you're all like-minded, amazing women. So Amy, we're just going to go through the list in order. Amy, you're up on the top. Valerie's next, and then Deborah. You may not all see the same order that I do, but we're going to start with Amy, then Valerie, and then Deborah Rogers.
Okay, my name is Amy Carlson, and I am an entrepreneur through and through. I have been a franchise owner of Jiffy Lubes, nonetheless, in Iowa. I have 4 locations for the last 40 years, and was going into semi-retirement about 5 years ago, and kind of found an accidental business with network marketing in the health and wellness industry. I found that retirement just wasn't for me. I'm a type A red, huge personality, so I needed to keep busy. And this accidental business really opened up such a huge, powerful story for myself, because I knew what I was doing before in terms of business. But as far as personal growth, I have had more personal growth in the last 4 years than I have had my entire adult life. And I really am passionate about helping other women. There's a whole huge story behind my history. I'm not going to get into that right now, but just learning that we don't want to judge a book by its cover. My husband and I have a lot in terms of monetary, but I learned so much more in terms of soul. And that is huge to me in being able to help other women do the same thing. I currently am not a public speaker, but want to be.
Or not yet.
I do a lot of things with my team. I have over 300 people nationwide and throughout the world. With my organization, I do a lot of events with them, so I'm very comfortable speaking in front of 100, 200, but would like to grow that audience and utilize this book to be able to help empower women more.
Perfect. Yes, your story was amazing, Amy. I learned a lot from you beyond our discussion, so definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Okay, so let's go to Valerie.
Hi, I'm Valerie Roman. I live in Windham, New Hampshire. I don't know if anyone else is out here in this area on the East Coast, but this is where I live. I was a technology director for over 35 years and have 2 grown sons. I now do technology consulting. I retired from the full-time job situation about 10 years ago now, 9 years ago. And so I'm very excited to meet all of you women. But I do consulting now. And the other thing, and how I kind of have been talking with Christy about, I recently wrote a book, and it's called Hat Trick, the Essential Playbook for Career, Family, and Personal Balance. And basically it's almost a memoir for young women to help other young women with lessons learned, things that worked for me, things that didn't work for me in scoring, for any of you sports fans out there, hat tricks, which my 3 goals were having a great career, raising a wonderful family, and taking care of myself and my own health. So that was just printed in hardcover last month, and Christy is working with me now to have it released on Amazon and to put it out in paperback and ebook this spring. So I'm excited to be with all of you, and I look forward to hopefully getting to interact even more in the future. Go Patriots!
Awesome. Thanks, Val. Yes, great job. Thanks, Valerie. All right, we'll go to Deborah Rogers next, and then Jeannie Martin. Jeannie's on deck.
Okay, I think I got it unmuted. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
My name is Deborah Rogers, and it is just a pleasure for me to be here. And if you guys can't tell, I work from home and not usually on Zoom a lot. So I'm a life coach, and I help my clients with different aspects of their lives, with whether it's personal or business. And I've been in network marketing off and on, mostly on, for about 12 years. It's not where my heart is. My heart is more with helping people through coaching and affiliate marketing. So, and recently, the last, over a year, 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, I met a co-author in this book, and we teamed up and formed a company. We are Elite Ladies Network, and that's Tina. I think she's off camera right now. And through that organization, or through that association, we've met 2 of the other ladies that are going to be in this book, which is Dorothy and Natalia. And I brought both of them in, or we brought both of them in. So I'm so glad and so happy to be associated with all of you. It's just amazing. I am not a professional speaker, but I hope to be very soon.
Yay!
So I think it's this, there's, onward and upward. Life is getting better after 50. That's all I can say.
You're young.
Wonderful. All right, so we're going to go to Jeannie next, and then Monique is on deck.
Okay, I think I relate, Amy, when you said that you're not ever going to be the retired person. I think you mentioned that when you started out.
Yeah, you guys have a lot in common.
That would be true, probably, it sounded like. I actually started as a high school English and speech teacher. I moved into Mary Kay Cosmetics and became a national sales director with Mary Kay. And I officially retired from Mary Kay in January of last year. I don't know if that's an official retirement. I just got back from Tennessee. I did a conference. I'm going to Seattle at the end of the month. I'm going to Atlanta in February, and I did 6 conferences in October. So I'm still doing or being associated with Mary Kay, but also have gone out of my pink bubble. And I have really been working in a group, it's called Rise Up, and it is hand selecting, it would be professional women, because that has been my area of expertise, who want more. And so through, an assessment and working with them for a semester at a time, I've been doing that for, let's see, we've done 2 semesters, and we're going to start a new semester in February. So I'm kind of excited about working with that. That's led to some work with consulting with some businesses, and kind of entertaining. I like that with the whole business. And when you mentioned speaking, I think I can help you maybe a little bit with that. I have done a lot of speaking, and just, in fact, tomorrow I'm leaving to go to it's called Killer Keynote. And so I'll have to share a little bit about that, Amy, if you're interested in something about expanding your ability to speak. So that's what I'm up to right now.
Wow, yay. Thanks, Jeannie, for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go to Monique next, and then Deb Navarro is on deck. You're going to have to unmute yourself, Monique. It's okay.
There we go. I am Monique. I live in Valparaiso, Indiana, which is about an hour out of Chicago. We kind of call ourselves a suburb of Chicago, but we're across the line. I have a business called Organizing Your Chaos, which I started 6 years ago. It's a professional home organizing business where I help busy women get their homes and papers organized. And that came out of having 6 children and a marriage that was going down the toilet in crisis, and a son who had 2 brain surgeries and almost died. So there was a lot of chaos and just falling apart happening in my life. So God spoke to us, saved the marriage that was in the toilet. We went to crisis counseling. That was amazing to do that. We had 3 kids. We adopted 3 kids internationally 10 years ago. So that's how I have 6. And just the pulling together a lot of things and trying not to drown, and figuring out what I needed to do to keep all of these people I was responsible for alive, fed and clothed. It just was very overwhelming. And so that's kind of like everything falling apart story for several years, to figuring out that I have gifts and talents in organizing and helping people figure that out. So I did that for myself, and then and I had several people in a very short period of time approach me and say, you should do this, which was, just God just hitting me on the head. Because it was a job I could do without doing a 9 to 5 with all of these kids at home. So I started about 6 years ago, more of a hobby. This last year, I've kind of tried to ramp it up. I met Christy at a speaking seminar in October. And right before that, I told God that if 3 people in 1 week told me that I should learn to speak, that I would. And I'm not really sure if I should have done that or not, but it's kind of a launching point just to share with women that even when things seem and are actually falling apart around you, that you can just, people ask me, how did you do it? And I just say, I get up and I get dressed, and then go from there. So I just want to help women who feel overwhelmed to know that there is another day coming and it can be better. So.
Awesome. Perfect. Amy, do you have a question? You have to unmute yourself.
There we go. Monique, have you seen that story about Gracefully Broken?
No, do I need to write that down?
Oh my gosh. If you in the chat box send me your email, I'll forward it to you. I just did a blog post on it, but your story, it was like, oh my gosh, she needs to read the Gracefully Broken.
Okay.
Can you post your blog link into the Facebook group? That way everybody can see it?
Sure. Can we put it in the group or in the chat?
Put it in the group. That way maybe other women that
Because,
are not on it.
yeah, because the chat will disappear when we close this out.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes, thanks for sharing, Amy. And Monique. So Deb Navarro's next, and then Natalia. Are you with us still, Deb Navarro? All right, we'll come back to her. So Natalia and then Kathy.
All right, I think I did it.
You got
Can
it.
you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Natalia. I love to empower women to feel beautiful inside and outside and feeling positive. And all this goes back to the story where my family was going, everything was going well. I was in school, gonna be a doctor of pharmacy. Then all of a sudden my child gets sick and I had to leave school, and then I had another child, and that child turned blue and died on me. And so I decided my family was going to be the priority and school is going to be on the back burner. And that's where I got into network marketing. This was about, I don't know, years ago. But so I tried one company, another company. I would rise up, and then I just wasn't getting to like a level that I wanted to. I wanted to rise, like be one of the top leaders, be able to fully support my family. And finally I got into a company I thought that it was going to happen with, and things were going great. I was ranking up, and then the worst thing that I did not expect happened to me. I lost my whole family. By then I was pregnant with my 6th child. And I became homeless. I lost my kids. I lost my husband. And basically going from having a family and pretty much like the picket fence and everything like that, I lost it all. And long story short, finally I got everybody back. I had my 7th child, got my house, and I found another network marketing company, and I really fell in love. I was actually battling cystic acne for many, many years, over 15 years, and finally I found a solution for it the natural way. And so with that, I became one of the top leaders in the company, and I'm growing and it's expanding and got to do some amazing things. And I found my niche, and I found like my story can help others. Like I went from having nothing and then going back and with the 7 kids and putting food on the table, and how I just want to inspire others that it can be done, that you don't have to go and live a life where, oh my gosh, this happened to me, that's it, my life is destroyed. But you can pick yourself up, and there are ways to do that. And I want to uplift women and help them get from the low to the high and how to do it step by step. So that's my next step, basically. That's where I'm
Awesome.
at right now.
Thanks, Natalia. And I do want to just say her son died, but he's fine now. It was because you said that he turned blue and died, but he's fine now.
Yeah, that was one of those.
A little caveat. That's an important thing. But no, her story is amazing. She's got a lot of great energy, and I am really excited to have everybody read her journey and just kind of help her with her next step in building her brand to that, taking her brand to that next level. So awesome.
Thank you.
All right, and then we're gonna have Kathy and then Dorothy, you're on deck. But Kathy is my secret website weapon. So her story is great, and she's got an amazing business. So Kathy, you are up.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. A lot of times this mic isn't working so well. Yeah, Kathy Cervetka. My business is Cervetka Creative Services. I do website design and development, and I have for 20 years now. Holy moly. It's been a long time, and I am trying to expand it into other things because you can only do so many websites, I think, in a lifetime. And you can only make so much money doing that. So I am so thankful for the opportunity to write my story about creativity and my struggle through believing that I'm creative. Being raised in a family where I wasn't the creative one and growing up with that lie in my head and hearing so many other people that have grown up with that lie as well. I taught web design for about 12 years at College of DuPage, is a community college here in Naperville near Chicago. And, you know, a lot of people who felt they were not creative or not technical or whatever it is, you know, just I'm not this, I'm not that. Being able to teach them through and actually to see people learn, it to me is such a fascinating, amazing journey. And I am an introvert, so speaking and actually teaching are difficult for me. I get nervous every time. Every time a semester started, I felt like throwing up for 12 years. And though I enjoy it, that's the crazy thing. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy doing webinars and being in front of people. I still get really nervous doing it. So it's a dichotomy, I guess. But it's what I enjoy. So I just try to get out of that comfort zone and overcome it. You know, my struggle, I also work at home. I work for myself. I've really had to rely on my business over these last 6 years, and I got separated from my husband. We're not divorced yet, which is a story unto itself, but I am, you know, trying to survive on my own income, and it's been difficult. It's been very difficult. So I've been working with a business coach trying to make this viable and overcome things like living alone, which can be demotivating. Working in home, being home, becoming a hermit is a detriment. So I have to work on that and overcoming and dealing, you know, but deal with depression as a lifelong struggle. So that's, I think, my story. I don't have any, you know, I'm just, the women who've spoken already are so amazingly powerful in all different ways. So that's super cool.
And you're just as powerful. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to do Dorothy next and then Erin. So Erin is on deck. So Dorothy, you got to unmute yourself. There you go. Oh. Yeah, I'll unmute you. So don't push any buttons. Okay. You should be.
I'm muted.
There you go. Now you're good. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Dorothy, and I'm coming to you from Oakland, California. Yes, but I'm really a Jersey girl at heart, so I will always claim New Jersey. Yes. So my story is that I am a baby boomer whose love affair with corporate America has ended. They did me wrong. My feelings are hurt, and it's time for me to take some action and make changes for myself. I believed in a system that let me down. And I didn't know there were other choices, other options. In October, I've been in corporate America for 35, more than 35 years. And I thought that was all there was until I realized that there is more. So I was looking for a solution for hot flashes, night sweats, and leg cramps. And I came across this company that not only had an amazing product and CBD oil, but they also had an affiliate opportunity. And I took CBD oil, and one night, I swear to God, my hot flashes disappeared. Leg cramps, gone. Night sweats, gone. It's so great now that I actually can tell the difference between being warm and hot flashing. It's amazing. So my quality of life has improved. And I feel that it is my responsibility and my obligation to tell every woman of a particular age that we don't have to suffer anymore. We can actually take control, not only of our health, but our finances. Corporate America let me down. I was supposed to retire in 2017 at the age of 55. I'm still here. So I know I can't be the only one. And so my goal, my dream is to help women realize their full potential. One, we don't have to be a slave to hot flashes if we are open to alternative treatment that doesn't involve side effects or nasty chemicals. It's possible. And if we want to retire when we're supposed to retire with full benefits and not have to worry about getting another job. I know so many women my age that can't retire, or if they do retire, they can't afford to stay retired. And that's really sad because we work so hard and so long, and we did what we were supposed to do. I'm mad. And so that's my fight, and my belief is I'm going to make a difference. You know, change has been made in me. I met Deborah and Tina, and they helped me to realize that I don't have to settle for the abuse that my corporate American relationship has put me in. I'm changing, and I want to change other people who are looking for a change. So that's my story. I'm so honored and humbled to be a part of this amazing group. I don't feel worthy because I'm not a writer. I'm a speaker. I do platform speaking for my 9 to 5, which I've put them on notice. They got 2 to 5 years. Yes, I'm so excited. Every day is a great day now. Now that I have a plan and a vision and a vehicle to help me reach it, it is so empowering.
Yes. Oh, she froze.
This.
Okay, there she goes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dorothy, for sharing. I am so happy that you're staying strong.
Yes.
So Erin is up next, and then Tish, you're on deck. So Erin.
Okay, can you see me?
We can see and hear you.
Okay, all right, good. I have to say this is very intimidating. I don't know. I'm from New Jersey, to start off that. I have come to this point, this place in my life, due to medical issues. I always was very healthy, active person. I worked with my family's business for a long time before I had kids, and then I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. It was kind of my thing in life, to be a mom. I wanted to have 12 kids. I had 3, and that was enough for me. But when my youngest, she got type 1 diabetes at 9 months old. So that was a big deterrence for having any more children, as well as a big stressor in my life. We went through a lot with that. She she almost died. We thought she had the stomach virus. We had no idea what was going on. So we spent a week in the PICU with her and comas and getting all kinds of, central lines, this, that, the other. But I believe that was kind of the beginning road for me to bad health, because when you have a type 1 diabetic baby, you never sleep. You are a pancreas all the time. I introduce myself sometimes to other diabetic parents as my daughter's pancreas. And I didn't sleep for probably about 5 years. So I think that brought on some serious health conditions that I began to battle probably about 5 years ago. My health problem, I wrote it in my story because it was really intense. I must say I was probably on the verge of, I had a place on the George Washington Bridge that I wanted to jump off of, and but I found healing through a holistic lifestyle, through essential oils, and I was able to turn everything around. What doctors were doing for me for 3 years was pretty much just continuing to put me down my path of misery and death. And I pulled myself out all by myself. And my story was just so powerful. I met so many people who were experiencing a lot of the same things as me, but didn't know, they hadn't come to the conclusions that I had. They hadn't figured things out. And so I wanted to share my story to give people who were going through what I was going through hope in natural healing. And you don't have to be on Neurontin and, oh my gosh, drawers and drawers full of medication to heal yourself, that relying on our God-given gifts that we can find healing. And so I started an essential oil business, and I've just been sharing my story everywhere and trying to bring people hope and, in the knowledge of knowing that, there's a lot we can do using the gifts from God and earth. So that's it.
Great. Thanks, Erin, for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yes, your story is incredible as well. And so we've got Letitia, and then we had Tina was on here, but she's gone. And Letitia, I'm sorry, you're last. You were the first one on the call. I should have went backwards and had you on first. Do you have a camera where we can see you by any chance? Here.
On? But I think I have to, I do have a camera. Let me go to my settings really quick to see if I can access it there, but I don't want to hold you guys up too long. So just give me one moment to see if I can.
I think we did a Zoom call before where it worked.
Yeah, that was on my my desktop.
So I did a request for just to start seeing you. So I don't know if you saw something pop up on your computer. I don't know what happened to Tina. Maybe it went too long for her. Oh, there she is. Yay. Okay, so now let's see. We can see you, but now I can't hear you. Missy? Oh, great.
Okay, I think we're good.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tish Thompson. In the book, it'll be listed as Letitia. So I live in the suburbs of the Chicagoland area, in a city called Shorewood. This is where I've been in this area most of my life. Just to give a little background about me, I started a consulting practice, a management consulting business called Legacy Blueprint about 5 years ago. And so we are a consulting firm that focuses on helping organizations become healthy through people. So I refer to the services that we provide as being physicians for organizations. We diagnose what's ailing the organization and work with them through a myriad of solutions to address it. So it could be strategic planning and execution, change management, leadership development, coaching, anything that deals with shaping culture through people. That's what Legacy Blueprint is all about. So in terms of me as a woman, my story is actually called I Am Not My Hair. And for me, it was about going through this self-discovery, about divorcing myself from having this identity that wrapped around my hair, because I ended up losing it. And so I had to get to a point where I was comfortable enough with myself to own my truth and become a lover of me and not care about what other people thought about how I looked. And so that was a several year journey for me, but I got to a point where I said, you know, I am more than just my hair. And when I got to that point of recognizing that, that's when life happened for me. So my story is about helping people, not just women, but helping people minimize how much they define themselves by external things that can be taken away. Life happens and it can be taken away. So when life happens and things are taken away from us, what will we use? What do we tap into to persevere and thrive in life? And so that's what the focus of my story is. In terms of my own personal legacy, my goal is to, you know, help organizations and people tap into their giftedness even when they don't see it. So that's what my lifelong journey is. And part of that, associated with that, is opening a homeless shelter for pregnant teens. So that's one of my lifetime goals. I'm currently pursuing my PhD. So the shelter won't happen until after that, so about another 3 years. But my PhD will be in business psychology. And again, that focuses around, I was a teen mom, so helping young women see that you're not defined by your situation. It's about how you decide to persevere out of that situation. So pursuing my PhD is just an example to the people around me that when you set your mind to doing something, it is achievable, but it starts with having a desire to want to do something different. So that's just a little bit about me. I was excited to that Christy tapped me on the shoulder to be a part of this project. I never saw myself as a writer. I knew at some point in my life I would have loved to write a book, but I'm like, where the heck do I even start? And so when she tapped me on the shoulder, I said, well, there's no better time than now. So ultimately what I would love to do is be able to write a book and kind of just build on that business. I am a public speaker, so I see myself utilizing this as an avenue to go out and speak to women around the country about loving self first. And not being so associated with and tied to and defined by our marital status, our weight, our how much money we make, the cars we have, not to be defined by that, but to really tap into who we are as wonderful women. So that's me.
Perfect. Yes, actually, we connected because you were a speaker at one of our events, and so yeah, I encourage you to keep going and have your book. So I have a couple more things. I didn't see anybody else pop on. Tina's gone. So what I want to do is I want to just kind of go over really quickly some of the other women that are in the project so you can kind of hear why you need to read their story and connect with them. We have Mimi Rogers, or Mimi. She is a holistic doctor that teaches people exercises and ways so they can improve their eyesight without having to wear glasses. Marcella Segal, she is out of Florida. She has an amazing story. She's a property owner. We have Bron Watson. She is in Australia, so I'm sure the time zone is what prevented her from joining us today. She is actually a social media coach, and so she's an amazing woman. Her story is awesome. We have Brianne Amadeo. She is a photographer here in the Chicagoland area, and her story is really powerful about a relationship challenge that she overcame. And then Lisa Odo, she is actually in a previous Overcoming Mediocrity book, and she loved her experience so much she decided she wanted to be in a second book. She is a teacher here in the Chicagoland area, and she is awesome. Sharon Whitehead, she's out of Michigan. I met her through one of my coaching programs that I am in, and she's gone through a journey over the last 5 years since I've known her, and right now she has found her niche, which is being a coach for people that specifically have gone through church trauma. So she actually approached me about 3 months ago and said that she was ready. So she has put her story together, and it's awesome. We have Amy Boswinkle, and she is out of Indiana. Her story is that of fighting through depression and an eating disorder and all kinds of addictions, basically, to now become a really powerful coach, holistic coach. And then we have Sylvia Washington. She is she's one of the members of our organization, DPWN, and she is an expert on helping people with lymphatic disorders. So she is she's a doctor. I don't know her exact title, but she basically she has treatments that she does physically with people to help them with their lymphatic challenges, which is a lot more common than I really even knew. When you see people that have swollen legs or swollen anything, it's because their lymphatic system is not working properly. And she is, her goal is to become a powerful speaker and really spread the word about that out in the world, so the awareness is raised. And then we have one more author. Her name is Carol Rambo, and she is a woman from my church, and she is an amazing woman, another direct selling retiree that has built a successful business and has gone through a lot of different journeys in her life, and her story is very powerful. So we have 22 amazing women in this book, and we can squeeze one more in if somebody comes and gets their act together, but I am not holding anything up to make that happen. We have a perfect amount of women right now. Of course, the more women, the more we're going to get our stories out in the world, but I think right now we're perfect the way we are. So I have a couple more announcements that I want to share. Remember, we always have the $100 referral program, so if you send somebody to one of our projects, you have a $100 check or whatever you want to use. We've mailed out probably like $4,000 and 3,000 something in checks so far, because most of our women have been found through referrals. A couple of our women have connected through an amazing organization that I'm a part of here locally, and a couple of the women from this book, 3 I think specifically. Oh, I forgot to mention Valerie. Okay, so I don't know how I skipped over Valerie. So Valerie Marak is one of our authors as well, and her story, she's a film producer, and so she's got an amazing story about her journey, but she is one of the women that I've met through Engaging Speakers. So a lot of you have said that you want to become a speaker. Engaging Speaker is a local organization that's been around for 10 plus years, that we've been partnering with them the whole time. But they have created this new initiative is to become a global organization, and they are in the middle and have already started creating a virtual membership that provides a lot of great value to people. I keep always wanting to say women because that's who I serve, but men and women all over, to make the community stronger. And so I can post the link to that organization, and if you want to check them out, I know guests are welcome to join the virtual meetings. I don't know, Kathy, do you know, does Jen have a affiliate program set up yet? Do you know if she's done that?
She has not told me that yet, so, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was working on it.
Yeah, so either way, I would love to have you guys. Okay, I didn't need that anyways. I would love to have you check out the organization if you think it's a good fit. I think the virtual membership's only $19 a month. So if you're local, they have a once a month live meeting, but they do some great virtual meetings too. And they bring in amazing trainers for these virtual meetings. So it definitely may be something that you all would want to check out. couple other things that I want to share is I have worked with 140 people already in these Overcoming Mediocrity books, and I have had a lot of them want to produce their own books. And last year I actually worked with, I think, 3 of our women to put together their own books, and I've worked with other people to put together their own books. And so I have put together a 6-month, it was starting out to be 12 weeks, but the teaching part you can do quicker than 6 months, but there's going to be 6 months of accountability and, all of the different things so you can get your book out of your head and into your hand. So if you want information on that, I would love to have you be a part of our first beta group, our first beta class. We're planning to launch a new class every month, but then the ongoing collaboration of all of the people and all of the classes is what's going to be super powerful, and we'll create accountability partners and everything for that. As well as our next book is not going to be the traditional type of a book that we've been doing. It is going to be a devotional. I have had so many women in all of our books that have been a part of our project, and a lot of people just in my world through our organization that are Christian women, and a lot of our stories are Christian-based stories. And I've wanted to do a Christian book, but it just wasn't coming together. But what I've determined, and so far I'm getting great feedback, is this next book is going to be a 31-day devotional, which means I need 31 Christian women to share their life verse. And the topics aren't going to be all about getting through struggles. A lot of it will, but most of it, it's more about overcoming and empowerment. A lot of the devotionals out there are about us when we're broken, where as a Christian working women, we need encouragement while we're strong to keep getting stronger. So the chapter, it would be your life verse, a devotional, and then your story. So the same principle as we want to share our stories, but we want this to be a 30-day devotional or 31-day devotional. So these are books that we will be using over and over again, just like Proverbs. On the 30th day or on the 5th day of the month, we're going to read that day 5 devotional and story and help other people or learn from the other stories. But then as we're sharing our stories, then that will be an ongoing tool for people to kind of just go to that next place, become stronger together. So if anybody's interested in that, we're going to move forward right away. I've got 5 women already in that book. So I think it's going to go quick, and we don't want to overlap or duplicate verses or duplicate topics. So that's where people are kind of like my story is about this. And so they want to make sure they can get in there and get that topic. So if you're interested, let me know. Other than that, I will keep you all updated on everything that we've done, again, through emails and the Facebook group, and then we will coordinate another call. I don't know when, probably it will be before the Amazon bestseller campaign, because I know a lot of you will have questions. So once we get a little bit more secure on our time frame, we'll get that on the calendar, and hopefully we'll have just as many or if not more people on that next call. So Valerie, did you have a question? You have to unmute yourself, sweetie. I can do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I have no problem. But
what is the expected time frame of that 5-day period? Is it in February or March or April, or when would you expect that to be?
For the Amazon bestseller campaign, I don't know. Again, it will really depend on once we get the books to the printer and we know how long the printing is going to be, then we'll be able to schedule it, because we then need to get the books delivered and then delivered to all of you. I want you to all have books in your hand before we do that. We'll schedule it, but we'll have a better idea of knowing when that will be once we're getting closer, because it could be in 2 months. It could be long. I just don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? Okay, we'll get into that Facebook group, and connect with each other. Definitely take that next step in valuing these potential relationships and collaborative partners and make it happen. So thank you all stay connected. And if there's anything else I can support you with, let me know. Reach out. Let's schedule a call. Great. Bye.